It's a pleasure to welcome onto the CS podcast once again, presented by the all-new NUC NFL Draft Bible. He's Lindenwood Lions standout linebacker, Connor Harris. Thanks for taking some time this evening. Connor, how's everything going?
Yeah, thank you. It's going very well. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. It's certainly a pleasure to have you on. Now, 2 weeks into the season, and the Lindenwood Lions are 1-1, pulling out a late 20-14 victory over Washburn in Week 1, and then falling to one of the top Division II teams in the country, Pitt State, 56-28 this past weekend. After 2 weeks, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's always great to get back and play football. You battle through camp for a few weeks, and it's always nice after waiting for a long off season to get back and playing the game you love. So it's going good. We got a great squad this year, and we're looking to do good things.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, it almost looks like you guys are sporting some new uniforms out there. Is that right?
Yep. Coach, he hooked us up this year. We got some awesome new uniforms, both home and away. So we're looking pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. I'm in love with those uniforms. Like you said, both home and away, looking sharp out there for sure. Talk a little bit about this past weekend's game against Pitt State, if you could. I mean, what was your guys' mindset heading into that game? Obviously, you're heading into that game 1-0. I know that I was unfortunately unable to watch that game, and I hate to do this. So I'm only looking at the box score, and I see that you guys held a 14-7 lead heading into the second quarter, but after that, it all went downhill. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We came in, with the mindset, we're playing a great team. And one thing that we preached all week was, special teams was going to make the difference in a game if we can play a complete game. And, going into that second quarter, we got 2 punts blocked, and both got touchdowns off of them. So, the lead switched pretty quickly. I think they scored, 21 unanswered points in, just a few minutes. So, you play a great team like Pitt State, you gotta limit those mistakes, and they kind of rolled with it, and they kept doing what they do, and they're a good team, and so like I said, you can't make those mistakes and expect to come out with a win against a team like Pitt State, who's ranked 5th in the nation. Their offense is very good, their defense is very good, and so they played a complete game all over the board.
And Pitt State, they were able to score 35 of their 56 points in the second quarter alone. Now, being a few days removed and possibly even looking over the tape, I'm not sure exactly if you have or haven't, how were they able to score 5 touchdowns in a single quarter? And looking back, is there anything that you saw where you go, oh, man, I cannot do this, or, oh, man, there's no way we could allow that to happen again?
Yeah, one thing, playing a great team like Pitt State is, you got to be disciplined. One thing they're really good at, especially offensively, is their assignments, and they're really disciplined. And one of their things they run on the offense is some different motions with some quarterback reads where he has the option to give it or pull it. And if you take your eyes off your assignment, you can definitely make a big play happen. So they converted, on 3rd and long and 2nd and long, and, we struggled to stop them. And with those 2 punts that were blocked and taken for touchdowns, that was huge momentum shift. And, we just kind of struggled with, stopping them. We'd get them in a good position to be 3rd and long, and, they'd get a big play. And stuff that's, it's frustrating to watch because, we had them where we wanted them, but they're a great team. And, once they start making plays, they kind of roll with it. So we struggle to kind of step up and seal the deal on some of those drives that we needed to.
Once again, the anchor of the Lindenwood Lions defense, Connor Harris, linebacker, joining the CS podcast presented by the NFL Draft Bible and NUC Sports. And Connor, how do you feel about your individual performance throughout the first 2 games of the season? Looking at the stat sheets, you've recorded 32 tackles and 1.5 tackles for loss. It looks like your punting game could use some work. But anyways, are you satisfied with how you have started your redshirt junior season?
I don't think I'm ever going to be satisfied with how I play. Looking at the film and everything, you can always see stuff you can do better. But I look at it and, I'm out there to do my job, and do my individual assignment and only worried about that. I think our defense is going to do great things this year. I think that our team is going to do great things. So, there's a lot of things I can improve and will improve on throughout the season. So far coming into this season, I can tell I've definitely improved from the off season from last year, just looking at the tape from this year and last year, and just getting off blocks and reading stuff and getting to the ball and tackling and everything. So, I've improved. There's still a lot of things I can work on, which is good. So I'm always going to keep working and just trying to get better.
And was there something this off season that you really focused on getting better? Was there one specific thing that this off season you took some time to improve on?
Well, one thing I did this off season a lot was watch film and watch the little things. One thing I wanted to do, being only playing this position for a couple of years, was learning how to get off blocks better. Learning how to read the O line and a lot of different footwork stuff. So, I did my normal thing in the off season, in the gym, trying to get faster and stronger. But I also worked on my footwork, worked on, the mental aspect of it, doing things I can critique myself on film and improve, lower my pad level and stuff like that. So just a lot of little things that you don't really think about when you're playing, but it can definitely improve your game.
Now, you said that you expect to do big things this season. You expect the team and the defense to do big things this season, both individually and team-wise. I mean, heading into this season, what would you say your expectations were, and have they changed 2 weeks into the season?
I think you always go in wanting to win the national championship, and I don't think anything's ever going to change. No matter what the outcome becomes, in a great conference like this, you can't lose more than a couple games, if at all, and hope to still have a shot. So if that happens, that happens. But our goal right now is to win conference, win a national championship, and so we're working every day for that. And so we play in a great conference where every week you play a top team in the country, and so you got to bring your A game. And I think Pitt State was a big wake up call for us. It showed that you got to play all four quarters. One thing that's one thing we've been stressing about this off season, and that's one thing we struggled with last year, is playing all four quarters. So we're going back to work this week, and we got a big game up against Fort Hays this week, and they're a very good football program. So every week we're playing to win the game, and so you don't want to look too far ahead, because in a conference like this, you can take some losses pretty quick because there's so many good teams. So.
Absolutely, and you just mentioned it. You guys are now getting ready for Week 3 against Fort Hays State University. Have you been able to watch any of their tape, and what are you guys expecting right now heading into this Week 3 matchup against Fort Hays, which is actually, I see on your guys' schedule, it's Family Day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've watched some film on Fort Hays, and we had the first practice going against our scout team and seeing some of their looks, and they're a very good football program. They got a great defense, a solid defense. That they're very disciplined, very physical. On the offensive side of the ball, they're very good as well. They got a great quarterback, a great running back that can make plays both with their their feet and throwing the ball. So we struggled a little bit with the read option last week, so we got to fix things up because they run a little bit of that. So they're a good football program, and I think they're overlooked a lot by a lot of teams, and so we're going into this week not overlooking them, because they're a very good football program, and they're getting votes for the top 25 teams in the nation. So they're gonna be very, very tough.
Once again, Connor Harris, linebacker from Lindenwood University, joining the CS podcast. And Connor, I'm pretty familiar with you. I've been watching you for now. This is really the second year that I've actually had been able to be focused on you on your team. 2013, I know that you redshirted that year with an injury, and obviously, if you could go back, you would probably try and to avoid that injury. But looking now, being a couple of years removed, do you feel that injury was probably a blessing in disguise? I mean, you're now you're now heading into your redshirt junior season, or excuse me, you are in your redshirt junior season, and you still have another year to go. I mean, in the end, I mean, do you think that could be a blessing in disguise, being able to kind of be around the team for that one more year?
Yeah, definitely. When it happened, I was definitely bummed. But now looking back, it definitely was a blessing in disguise. I've not only have grown as a player, but also as a leader. I've never really been injured throughout my career of football, and let alone a season-ending injury. And so I was, really got to reflect on how I led the team on the sidelines, and it just improved me as a leader and also a player. And so to get this extra season coming up, I've grown as a player, and there's a lot of things I can continue to work on. So getting that extra season is definitely going to be very beneficial to me.
And Connor, I don't want to look too far ahead of the future, but I do like to pay close attention to the NFL draft, and I got to ask you, is your ultimate goal to play at the next level? I mean, I've been on record in saying that you are the top defensive linebacker in the nation, and you're only a redshirt junior now, and I'm not just saying that because I've been connected with you for a little while now. I truly do believe that. Is professional football a career that you might look into pursuing?
Yeah, definitely. Ever since I started playing football when I was little, that's everyone's dream come true, and so I'm definitely working towards that goal. That's definitely a goal of mine, and definitely something I want to do. But I know God has a plan, and I'm going to focus on just this season, and then for my next season in college. So there's still a lot of things I can improve on, a lot of things I still want to do in college. So it's definitely a goal. It's definitely a dream of mine. So I'm going to continue to play as hard as I can and work as hard as I can, and we'll see what happens.
And you guys take on Fort Hays State University this weekend. Connor, I always appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure chatting with you. Hopefully we could do this again later on in the season. I appreciate your time. You have anything else for us before I let you go?
I definitely appreciate you having me on, and it's been a blast.